An old man, a child, a broken car, such a seemingly dull journey. How much magic is hidden in the end, which can touch the hearts of countless people. Today we will sit on the three-collapsed car of the grandfather and grandson, see where he actually leads. The story begins in an ordinary rural area in Zhoukou, Hannan province in the summer. 7-year-old Ningning, a typical city baby, was sent to his grandfather's dress house. Because my mother is going to give birth to a second child, my father is busy on the construction site, and no one takes him. She directed with an extremely calm and restrained camera language from the beginning. It shows us the generation gap between grandfather and grandson. For example, Ningning just arrived at home and handed over a towel that was washed gray and black. Ningning avoided the camera with a disgusted face, did not shake or move, and just watched quietly. No soundtrack, no close-up. But the sense of estrangement between urban and rural areas and grandchildren came out all of a sudden. This spectator-like shot is present throughout the film. It doesn't help you delete love. Instead, let you feel it for yourself. Grandpa cooked a corn for Ningning, and that night, Ningning couldn't eat it because she had just vomited out a milk bud. Early the next morning, my grandfather climbed onto the roof. Carefully, the small milk bud was stuffed into the salt-proof tile. Bottom Ningning asked his grandfather, puzzled, "What are you doing?" This line is full of the simplest blessings and wisdom of the Chinese countryside. It is not a science, but it is an emotional sustenance. A sense of ritual passed down from generation to generation. The first threshold is the perception of death. Ningning ate a watermelon on the ground, peed and threw urine, poured it on a soil bag. Grandpa came over and told him that it was his great-grandfather's grave.
Isn't what you pee on your master's soil?
Master, that is my father. You call me father. You got the account.
This was the first time Ningning faced the concept of death. She asked ignorantly, "Will Grandpa die?" Grandpa calmly told her that people will eventually die, unless time can stop. After hearing this, Ningning ran to his grandfather. He made a pause gesture with his little hands. This dialogue seems to be fairy, but it is actually the experience of the whole movie. It is also the starting point of the whole philosophical thinking. He raised the question of life in the most innocent and romantic way, the grand and heavy topics of time and death. Grandpa's almost Taoist calmness, and Ningning tried to use games to fight the innocence of death. It creates a wonderful and profound contrast to this scene. It sets the tone for the entire journey that follows on how to face the finish line. The real turning point occurred at the bazaar, where watermelons were sold. Grandpa unexpectedly learned that the old guy he hadn't seen for more than 30 years, Han Yutang, was seriously ill. It is in Sanmenxia Hospital, 400 kilometers away. Time was running out, and Grandpa couldn't sleep that night. There is a lens, which can be called textbook level. The room was dark. Grandpa holding a flashlight. A faint pillar of light hit the wall. On an old yellowed photo, there are 5 young people in the photo. It was a life and death friend who worked together in the farm labor camp. Grandpa took out his grandson's watercolor brush and trembled in it. 2 deceased friends have circles drawn on their avatars. Then the camera moved to the map with the flashlight. His hand covered with old Jane was on the map, gesturing the distance from home to Sanmenxia. There was not a single line in the whole process, but the waves in an old man's heart, the truth about friendship, and the decision that is about to come out. It is contained in this lonely light and this old hand. This is the advanced film language. He allows you to see the inner world of the characters, instead of listening to him. The next day, he told his grandson that he was going to take him on a trip, so he was old and young. Riding an electric tricycle, I hit the road, but as soon as he left the village, the car plunged into the ditch, scrapped directly. But that didn't stop him. He borrowed an oil-burning tricycle from his mute cousin, embarked on the journey again. This 400-kilometer road is not so much a geographical leap, it is more like a ferry of life along the way. They met 3 people who were stuck in life. It has also broken through 3 complex human natures. Caring Grandpa, he crossed them with his simplest wisdom, and finally saved himself. They met a young man fishing by the river. The young man was listless and full of depression. In the chat, I learned that he failed to start a business and was deceived into jumping off a building with millions of partners. He himself felt that living was boring, hiding here to escape reality. Faced with this young man who almost gave up his life, Grandpa didn't say a single word of life. He told a story. A story about his mute cousin, who lied when he was young. He said that his brother robbed him of firewood. As a result, the grumpy father arrived and slapped his brother. In order to prove his innocence, the eldest brother with a strong personality was angry, drank pesticides, and died on the way to the hospital. My father also hanged himself in endless remorse, a trivial lie. Like dominoes, ruining a whole family mute cousin. In order to atone for his sins, he never spoke again. Silently raised his brother's 2 children. After telling the story, Grandpa pointed to the river and told him,
It is uncontrollable and reasonable. If you fish, you can reap it for another lifetime. You can't fall off the fish either.
This passage is one of the most philosophical lines in the entire film. He tells us, there are things that can be done in life, and things that cannot be done. Instead of dwelling on an unchangeable past, it is better to learn to wait patiently for the hope of the future. And the best thing is that my grandfather made a simple fish trap with a plastic bottle. I actually caught a small fish. This fish is like a joke made by God to young people, is also a hint. Perhaps hope always appears inadvertently. Saying goodbye to the young people, they meet a truck that broke down. The driver stopped for a long time, and there was no one in the car, but Grandpa took the initiative to stop. The driver was going to the city to buy parts, and Grandpa didn't say a word. He lent him his tricycle, but the driver was extremely wary, seeing Nining trying to climb into his cab. Immediately pick up the child down. The car door was also locked. This driver represents being smoothed out by social reality, the kind of people who are kind and trusting. He complained to his grandfather. The villagers who overturned last year to help robbed him of all his machines. So he felt that there were beautiful people on the road, and his grandfather's answer was particularly wise. This is a kind of looking for light in the face of adversity. Philosophy teaches people to see the positive side of things. At night, they encountered a group of people stopping the car. It is said that there was a car accident at home and asked for funeral expenses. The driver scolded and just wanted to use 10 yuan to pass the time, but Grandpa got out of the car, stuffed the 50 yuan that the driver had just given him into the other party's hand. Nining also followed her grandfather's example and handed her bubble gum to the little boy of the other family. The driver didn't understand and felt that his grandfather was too generous. These people are not good people at first glance, but Grandpa doesn't think so. This sentence does not mean that he is stupid and can't distinguish between truth and falsehood, but a kind of transparent kindness. I choose to believe and choose peace of mind. As for whether you lie to me, that is your business, not my choice. And this kindness eventually transformed the driver.